Whimsy.
Whimsy dug out her grave here and pummeled me with all the sand and everything. But why was she doing it? Not so that she'd have a nice cool hole, so that I would get up and she could have my spot. Another idea has arisen. It is possible that because I was her jailer this morning when she was getting worked up and I put her on the line and gave her a timeout, that she had been plotting her revenge the whole time, and when it seemed just perfect, she got me.
My home's only for the night, waking up in different places, but I stopped running from my life, and all the pieces found their places. My heart is home with you.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Go Roughly Around the World.
So what the hell is on our faces?
And our dog.
And our dog.
Well, it is Day of the Dead here in
Dia
Mexico.
de los Muertos.
Yes, and so we got our faces in the traditional painting that they do here. And we think it looks pretty good. It's the first time we've ever done it. I got my crown, my flower crown, and Whimsy got all painted too. She's already smeared herself against everything and made it purple, but it is what it is.
Now, we pride ourselves, as comes across quite clearly in this episode, at basically just being out in the middle of nada and as far from sort of people and civilization as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, there are times when you gotta just get with it and enjoy the festivities, right?
That's right, that's right. So that's why we wanted to do this. We're here in Mexico. Why not be part of the celebration and really get into it? So that's what we did.
So, in this episode, we are, as I said, in the middle of nada.
Yes.
We start out in the middle of nada, Walker Lake.
Yep.
I think we were sort of figuring out where to poop.
Yes.
Pretty much a common theme.
And then we had to think about what we were going to do because it was hot. The sun was blazing, and we're in Nevada, in the desert of Nevada. There is no shade anywhere.
And so, a lot of blazing.
Yep, yeah, a lot of blazing.
So
and
we gotta get creative.
We do, because our dog does not enjoy being hot. So we had to think about a way to keep her cool.
So we sort of McGuyver a solution. That's exciting. And then we go from that middle of nada to the next middle of nada where somebody
came upon Greg.
Yeah.
In a compromising position.
Pooping yet again. And basically sort of,
just came upon us and sort of scared us.
Stick around.
Am I on the wrong side? So we came to see this Marietta wild burro range, and it's protecting the wild burros, the donkeys, And now at this wild burro range, we now are actually seeing a deer. So there's a deer over there. I haven't seen a burro yet, but this is their range. This place is all really barren. There's not much out here, and there's no shade anywhere. So I knew that was going to be the case, so I told Greg that we needed to come up with something, and he came up with using our tarp connected to the two bikes and two rocks with our tripod in the middle to give us a little bit of height. Works really well, and in the morning, if the sun is on the other side, we can just flip the tarp and use it on that side, and that'll give us some shade as we're packing up. Tonight's dinner is black beans with whole wheat rice, cherry tomatoes, onions, and garlic.
The question of where to poop when you're in a terrain like this. The hills are sort of rolling, you can see an incredibly long distance, and the bushes are all incredibly low. And so the answer is anywhere you want. So Jess has simply gone in this direction while I am facing this direction, and no one's the wiser. So really, this is one of these few times in life where you just poop literally out in the open.
We have no idea what the plan is for today. We only have about 3.5 hours to get to Pahrump. I'll have to figure out how they actually say it there, which is about an hour outside of Las Vegas. So I looked it up, and it turns out that Hurricane Hillary has wiped out some of the roads. So they've shut down Death Valley National Park.
Jesse's ability to research all of this about Death Valley and the places we're going and mines and things is all predicated on the fact that we happen to have found a location in the middle of nada that has like 2 bars of 5G.
So we're not able to do that. So what we're going to do instead is by Beatty, good girl, by Beatty, there is a little river, the Amargosa, that's not how you say it, ignore that. There's a river by Beatty that on iOverlander, there's people who had said that they camped there and they showed photos and there's water. I haven't bathed in like 3 days, so I'm ready to get into some water.
I, on the other hand, bathed just yesterday evening. So does that make me more prissy that I am more bathed, or does it make me smarter and sweeter smelling?
10 minutes later, there is an abandoned mine that's sort of been graffitied and it's just there. So that might be a nice place for us to camp tonight, especially because the structures should provide some shade. We're in an oasis town, and all of a sudden, there's just a burro that's just walking on the road. A pretty one, too. He's crossing at the crosswalk. Okay, let me just turn around and do this again.
I think I was gabbing a bit, and suddenly my light was on. And then the next thing I know, I'm at 35 kilometers range with like 37 kilometers to get here.
Greg has been complaining about something this whole trip, is that he doesn't have hot sauce, because all of the hot sauce normally comes in really big bottles and he can't carry it. So I've got an ass-kicking Carolina Reaper, this little guy. This is the hottest one possible. And then he said one that has good flavor but isn't like as hot as that one is the hot sauce from Hell, Devil's Revenge. And then one that just has good flavor but still has spice is this chili lime.
We're not gonna stay here or go in the water.
Look straight ahead and keep my knees bent, be athletic. All that. Oh my God.
Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. With some determination.
Where do I go here? Hold on.
Just like back there. And then it's like, oh my God, I almost went down. It's like, well, because you stopped right in front of the thing.
Just stay still. Just stay still. I'm coming. Yep. I can just dig out a spot here. Okay. Okay. What's my fucking issue here? I'm in a hole. I'd like to just stay here. At the campsite. This was a tough stretch to get to this mine, this abandoned mine, and it just turned to shit. Like all of a sudden, the sand and the rock, it just got really loose.
How are we gonna get the bikes over? What's your thought?
I don't know. That's the easiest thing.
I dug in a couple of times with my back tire. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of here in the morning.
Again. Back. Now.
So look, let me just make a little. Hold on, Greg, don't give up. Hold on.
Coming. You good? There you go. Coming. Now straighten out. There you go. Okay, stop for a second. I'm not gonna pull. You're gonna tell me if you want me to pull.
Okay.
That way I don't pull you and then you're putting the brakes and we're fighting each other.
Okay.
So I tell you which way to go, you tell me whether to pull or not.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So I'm not doing anything until you tell me to pull, even if you're stopped.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you have the brake on or not.
Okay.
Dinner is mashed potatoes and chili, and also courtesy of Jessica is ass-kicking Carolina Reaper hot sauce. I am frankly struggling just to open the thing, which doesn't bode well. Mezcal is involved in my current struggles. But the point here is, what is better for chili than hot sauce? I mean, chili just without spice, that's for pussies. So we're gonna do this if I can ever get this goddamn thing open, and we'll see how I respond. Okay. You're actually watching me.
No, the anticipation
the
here.
Things are falling. Oh, I actually got the top off. It just actually fell off. I don't know how that happened.
Should you like touch it to your tongue first before you put it on your food?
I don't know. Is that... How would a cowboy do it?
No, I think you should.
We don't have the fly up. It either needs to be very hot, check, or...
What?
No, that's the reason.
That's the only reason we keep it off.
Okay, starting over. So a lot of people think that the dog is going to be happier being free, but they're really just kind of struggling to get their balance. But once they're laying down, and once they realize like they have to lay down, then they just focus on the sights and the sounds, and they're more relaxed. No, my pleasure. You know, any other questions that come up, you just reach back out. And like I said, as you settle in on a few different bike options, let me know and we'll give you some feedback about the mounting.
So there was this truck that had passed. They had come up here, they stopped, they did something, and then they came back down.
Right while this guy was pooping. And because this place is absolutely empty and deserted, he wasn't really pooping in a particularly secluded area at all.
And they passed us, and then all of a sudden they started reversing on the road.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You can see as far as the eye can see.
Whimsy.
There isn't a soul for miles, I think. And so you don't worry about this idea of privacy. She found this poop down here, this cow patty, and began to chow down. That's pretty dynamite. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Really, it feels like we are in Burrolandia. The very first thing that Whimsy did after, for all the things that happen at a Family Dollar, not only do you grab a quick little bit of kibble, but you see a burro. Meanwhile, Whimsy's out of kibble. Did we plan poorly? Yes.
Whimsy, you don't need to eat that.
It makes you feel very vulnerable, doesn't it? Are you sleeping? Keep your eyes closed. Oh, I'm listening. Oh, that's engaging. And I am suffering, but suffering in the most beautiful of ways. This is really unheard of. And by the way, we're in Nevada. Like, this is supposed to be just a wasteland where all they use this area for is like to test fucking bombs that they can blow up. And yet we've just had enormous coverage at all of our campsites. Did you fall asleep in the middle of that?
No, I was listening.
And you had nothing, it sparked no points in you, nothing to contribute.
You shared it all really well.
Well, they don't say you're the best color woman in motorcycle travel for nothing. So, a lot of facets to that, a lot of ins and outs, and then on top of everything else, I mean, it's such a hoi polloi hustle bustle of a location